In this episode of Travels with the Bondi Vet,
Extraordinary.
Chris gets lost in translation in Tokyo,
I have a feeling it's only going to speed up from here.
takes on the resort-free holiday challenge in Vanuatu,
Wow. So this is the blue hole and it is just glowing blue.
gets the lowdown on the latest trends at the snowfields,
Mate, what is it? This is a snow bike. Snow bike.
and visits a New Zealand city that's a little bit different.
What are you going to do?
I thought we'd step away from the Kendall look.
What's wrong with Kendall?
Tokyo is the largest urban area in the world. 35 million people inhabit this city, and there's something here for everyone. From the traditional
美味しくなれ萌え萌えキュン
to the non-traditional. Our good friends, Japan Airlines, have flown me to Tokyo, where I start with an old-school rickshaw ride.
So how do I hope to explain one of the world's most amazing cities in just a few minutes? Well, I guess you start at the beginning. This is Asakusa. It's old Tokyo, a town of temples and traditions. And I have a feeling it's only going to speed up from here.
Tokyo was built on the mixing of ancient with the modern, and its huge population allowed cultures and experiences to emerge the rest of the world would find pretty strange, but I find absolutely intriguing.
Wow.
This is unsurprisingly the world's only parasite museum,
Hey, little guy, look what happened to you.
boasting 300 examples of worms, flukes, bugs, and whatever that is, that feed on people and animals.
You know that heartworm thing your vet's always talking about, how you need to have those tablets or the injection? You've never really seen it until now. That's it right there.
While you probably wouldn't want to take too much away from this museum, you can pick up a tapeworm tea. But why settle for a print when you can see the real thing, which was retrieved from a woman who ate bad sushi? All 8.8 metres of worm.
Anyone hungry?
Inspired by the worms, I've decided to try one of Tokyo's latest cuisine treats at Nekute-pa, where they've unearthed a new take on fine dining.
That's not cracked pepper there, that's dirt. It's got a real earthy flavour, but it doesn't taste like you're drinking a glass of dirt.
Experimental chef Tanabe decided to cook dirt because he was already serving seafood on his menu and wanted to add some turf to his surf. I wish I was kidding.
The rice is soft, but there's a grittiness in there, which is unmistakably dirt.
But this is not your standard soil. It comes from 10 metres underground and it's baked, boiled and filtered before it hits your plate. And for dessert, ice cream.
80% that's
80% dirt in here.
yes.
Wow. You know, like a lot of boys, I went through a dirt-eating stage. If we had dirt ice cream when I was a kid, I don't think I ever would have stopped. You're a very dirty man. Very good.
Thank you.
Oishi.
As delicious as that was, I'm still hungry and have been told about a cafe experience with a difference. Akihabara, or Electric City, is a mecca for anything electronic. And where there are electronics, there are geeks. And where there are geeks, there are maids?
Okay, there is something going on here. Have a look at this, and this, and then this. I feel like I've left Tokyo and I'm about to go down the rabbit hole. Get in.
Forget Harajuku girls.
I'm gonna fit right in.
In the past decade, the Maid cafe phenomena has taken off. There are now over 200 cafes.
Extraordinary.
お帰りなさいませ。ご主人様、こちらへどうぞ。
Okay. I think when you're a bit of a geek, you may not have too many female friends, so you come here to have female company and you get served by maids.
Patrons can talk, play games, or learn how to woo girls.
Should I have bought you flowers? So, I thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And then there you go.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
Along comes dessert, my second for the day, and this one is just as unusual.
Is that a cat?
Yes, that is cat.
I look after cats.
Wow, that's interesting.
Clearly my conversation skills, well, require some work, whereas my friend in the next booth...
All the moves.
In one day, I've ridden a rickshaw, checked out parasites, experienced fine dirt dining, and wooed a waitress. This is an extraordinary city, and the best part? I've only just scratched the surface. This is Port Vila, Vanuatu's capital. It's resort holiday heaven. So, of course, I'm out of here. Instead, I'm heading to Vanuatu's largest island, Espiritu Santo, about an hour's flight to the north. So, no resorts means no swimming pools, no cocktails, no massages, and no all-you-can-eat buffets, which is a shame because I really like those. But just to make it even harder, they've dropped me in the middle of the jungle. The only saving grace is I didn't have to get here on that. Santo was a base for US Armed Forces in World War II, but now its reefs and backcountry attract divers and adventure travellers alike. My first stop, Santo's version of everyone's favourite hangout, the swimming pool. I'm paddling upriver on my way to one of Santo's blue holes. Why is it so blue?
The limestone, you know?
The limestone? It's like you're floating in midair because the water is so clear, it's like it's not even there. Wow, so this is the blue hole and it is just glowing blue. It's amazing. And not a single aqua aerobics class taking place here either. Well, if I'm going to road test this pool, I'd better take it for a swim. Oh, beautiful. You know, who needs deck chairs and floating bars when you've got crystal clear underground spring water like this? You ready? And you won't find this anywhere else in the world. The blue holes are just one of Santo's unspoiled assets. 15 minutes from heaven, and you're in Santo's bustling downtown Luganville. The market is Santo's version of the all-you-can-eat buffet. But for me, it's like all-you-can-treat. Never knew trimming nails was a spectator sport. Around these parts it is. Clearly, news travels fast around here, and the word's out. There's a vet in town. Let's check out the faces when I do this. Ah, thank you. Usual payment, I accept cash, credit card and coconut. Now, I don't see too many of these, but I'm excited. You know, normally, Vanuatu pigs, they're on the menu, but I'm glad this little guy has ended up on my lap. I know. Just like a blonde Bondi boy, my advice for this babe is to be sun smart. Living in a climate like he does, he'll be like pork crackling. If you want to go really crazy, you can actually put sunscreen on him as well. All these coconuts I'm earning are making me think of one thing. That's cocktail hour. Well, I'm on an island holiday after all. Hi. Could I get... would you like one?
Okay.
Okay. Could I get two kavas, please? In Vanuatu, kava is the favoured tipple. designed to give you that easy breezy feeling.
Do we drink it here?
No, we have to go in the dark. The reflection of the light will destroy the effect of the kava.
What am I meant to feel?
You're going to feel like you're flying somewhere.
Sure, it's big in Fiji, but apparently Vanuatu's kava has way more kick.
So just drink it?
Yeah,
The whole thing?
holding one go.
No offense, Glenn. It's like, if you imagine cucumber juice mixed with dirt. It's interesting.
And the effects, well, they're interesting too.
It's hard to know if they're enjoying it or hating every mouthful. Why is everyone snorting and spitting?
Because they want to clean up all this stuff that's stuck in your throat.
That, I can taste that.
So you have to spit them out. Do you know it cleans up the inside?
It really does. It's honestly like no other bar I've ever been to. There are no lights. There's just silence, which is occasionally interrupted by that. It's something very different. Glenn, now I'm flying Kava Airways. Do they know the way back to Australia? Good. I'm heading home. Why is it whenever you say you're going to the snow, the first question anyone asks is, do you ski or do you snowboard? Well, what if, for a day, the challenge is you can do neither? It just seems to me like the snow could be a pretty lonely place if you're never doing what the cool kids are doing. So my challenge today is, can I have fun up here whilst never ever touching a ski or a snowboard?
And maybe never doing that again. I'm taking on the challenge at Falls Creek, famous for its ski-in, ski-out accommodation. This beautiful alpine resort is a 5-hour drive northeast from Melbourne. And it starts right here with this bloke, Dan.
Mate, what is it?
This is a snow bike.
Snow bike.
Snow bike.
How does it work?
It works by just tilting the bike sideways, giving it a little bit of a corner, and then going down the hill really fast.
Okay, it's time to shred, carve, or do whatever you do on these things. See down there. Okay.
Excellent, yeah.
So straight's good?
Yeah, straight's good. Keep your foot down on the ground to try
And then what?
turn. There we go.
No.
How do you stop? Put your feet out. The ground, that's it. Perfect.
I survived!
That's it.
Snowbiking's huge in Europe and the US.
Woo!
And Falls Creek is the first Aussie resort to pick it up. Who knows, in 5 years it could be as popular as skiing or boarding. And lucky for me, no lycra.
The best thing about this is, when you're an Aussie, you grow up riding a bike, so you come down here, this is the most natural thing. It feels right to be on something like this, and you don't have those awkward few days where you're constantly stacking it to get the hang of it. It sort of comes fairly quickly.
Famous last words.
Mostly just like a bike, you can fall off, only here there's no gravel rash. You land on this. Now, didn't come
on Falls Creek just to do this. I reckon now I'm in the mood for something, well, a little more grunt.
And this is the bloke who can provide it.
I've had mates that have been able to say North America or Europe and experience this, but this is the only place in Australia where you can get on a snowmobile and explore. You know, there's no lift passes, there's no other people getting in your way. It's just you in amongst nature, and it is something special.
Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, that is a blizzard. Falls Creek is Victoria's biggest ski resort, which means it has the most accessible backcountry to do this in.
And just when you thought this day of fun was over, no. It is only just beginning, because I've heard that this is the hottest ticket in town. What exactly is this?
We call this snotchy.
Snotchy?
The version of snow bocce.
Of course it is.
You can join a snotchy game, love that word, snotchy, pretty much any night of the week during snow season on the village green. It's quite a spontaneous thing.
Okay, so this works just like normal bocce, right?
Just like normal bocce.
Only it's snotchy.
Don't think it's that easy, man.
Is that legal?
That's double points.
Whose foot's that? At the end of this, do you have a snot chocolate? Or is there an official snotchy mascot?
This is Fangio. He's 13 and he loves the snow.
Fang, you are special. You know, after snow biking, snowmobiling, and now snotchy, I do now believe you can actually have fun in the snow without skiing or snowboarding. The key just seems to be adding sn to words. Makes everything better. Oh, that was a good one.
That was a bad.
And the snot chocolates from me.
It could be Europe, or even North America. But it's our next door neighbour, New Zealand. The South Island, to be precise. Dedicated winter worshippers know all about its stunning alpine scenery and adrenaline-pumping water sports. And for most of them, the island's largest city, Christchurch, would have been their first port of call. But that changed in February 2011 when the city was devastated by a series of massive earthquakes. The rebuild will take years. But not its businesses. Right next door, they've opened up again in what can only be described as the world's first shipping mall. In true Never Say Die spirit, they're operating from a sea of repurposed freight containers.
It's essentially a pop-up city. Everywhere you look, there's colour, there's energy, and there's innovation.
I'd say we are probably doing better. The old silver lining has come from something terrible, and we've risen up to conquer it all.
Obviously, your rent must be so much less now.
It was about $6,500 a month, and now we're down to $40 and a box of beers a week.
$6,500?
Box of beers is still legal currency in Christchurch.
This may be post-quake Christchurch, but you can still find a cafe container. You can also find a quaffing container.
You game to take this on? What are you going to do?
I think we'll step away from the Kendall look.
What's wrong with Kendall? Been running this look for years.
You can even sample the locally made brew. In this case, oyster stout.
Mate, this looks good.
Doesn't it look good?
Cheers. It's pretty good. It's actually really good.
Why is it called oyster stout? Because it's brewed with oysters, of course.
Get those in.
It's made at the nearby Three Boys Brewery, which fortunately wasn't destroyed in the quake.
You can eat them. I shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't do this. Have a go at it, Chris. Do you like that? I'm pretty open-minded. I don't think I'm what. Don't spit it in here. Warm. Oh. You want to see that? Oh. Everywhere you go in Christchurch, it's hard not to be impressed with not just the resourcefulness, but also the spirit that seems to really unite this place. It seems like everyone's made a conscious effort to dust themselves off and make a fresh start with a cool idea in their mind.
But there's more to Christchurch than container bars, barbers and breweries. The city's artists are doing their bit for the cultural landscape, creating temporary art installations to lift people's spirits. It's all about reclaiming the abandoned spaces and putting them to good use. Like turning a disused fridge into a book exchange.
It's a demonstration of what Christchurch is doing. It's not wallowing in its own self-pity. It's actually taking these spaces here and going, you know what? Instead of making it blank, let's really celebrate the fact that we have this room to really explore arts. And this is it. It's different.
In a crash course, I don't know why I don't do.
Like this old piano, Christchurch has a new lease on life. There's a spirit that won't be quashed, and in this time of adversity and rebuilding, they deserve our mateship and support.